One of the benefits of the election results last week might be transparency. That might be the biggest winner of all. I hear the word a lot. And boy, wouldn't you like to know a lot more about what happened during COVID? Because I certainly would, and others would as well. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., the man who wrote the real Anthony Fauci book, maybe he's going to peel the cover back. I know my next guest will have some questions. Peter McCullough is doctor, chief scientific officer at the wellness company, twc.health/Gruber to find out more. Dr. McCullough, nice to see you.
Thank you.
Now that Trump has won, what do you think about peeling back some of the curtain to see what's happening, to find out what did happen? What is the truth about how the pharmaceutical companies were treated? What is the truth about how COVID was handled? What is the truth about how the government responded? Was it for health or political purposes?
I think there's too many immediate issues, Steve. I think the investigative justice phase of this whole pandemic debacle will come later. I do think it's interesting that, in this NFL draft, like on steroids of assembling Team Trump, that Kennedy has not been positioned thus far as Secretary of Health and Human Services. This is very interesting. Health and Human Services, that cabinet position held by Bashir right now, is extremely powerful because underneath it is Medicare, Medicaid, the Assistant Secretary, HHS, the CDC, the NIH, the FDA. So that position is huge. In many ways, for this conversation, it's way bigger than Secretary of Defense or Secretary of State. So I think it's interesting right now that position is open. Team Trump is, I guess, working in a war room-like environment, trying to put together the team. Robert F. Kennedy out there, who's clearly a disruptor. He's a disruptive force. The question is, will he get a cabinet position? We're about a week into it, and so far, nothing.
Do you think that there are other places on the board where you think he would be effective? Is it only that job, or are there other jobs where he could be effective, have impact, and really make a difference on the health of Americans? Maybe it's food. I mean, one of the things he talks about tremendously is all the garbage that's in packaged food, for example. I mean, he can have an impact other places, right?
He's so diverse. He may be better as like a czar, some type of not a cabinet position, but someone who's going to really drive things. Because you're right. So we have certainly messenger RNA vaccines, the whole COVID vaccine debacle, the routine childhood schedule. But, he has been right about trans fats. The cardiovascular community for decades has wanted to get trans fats out of the American diet. He's been pushing this. He calls them seed oils. But, to eliminate them from the diet would be huge. They did it in New York City. Bloomberg did it. Heart attack rates dropped. I mean, this is all aligned. We just need to get this over the finish line. He's been very strong on improving the safety of the water supply. There's data now with aluminum. Promoting dementia in tap water and bottled water, fluoride, safety concerns there in children. So there's quite an opportunity, I think, potentially, because he's so diverse, to be like an advisor or a czar officially positioned to fuel a lot of these Make America Healthy initiatives.
Doctor, do you believe if we follow the Make America Healthy Again initiatives, we can reverse childhood obesity, we can reverse diabetes trends, we can reverse trends of hypertension and heart disease and all of these things that are killing Americans every day? Can we reverse these trends? Can we win our health back?
I believe we can. I really do. It's a matter of these universal changes of things that in some other countries have already done this, Steve, but it's also people making better choices. We're going to have to get back to physical education in the schools, very healthy school lunches, everybody making healthy choices, having portion control, a dedication to our physical fitness and our bodies. So it's going to take an overhaul of the American psyche, but boy, the government certainly can help.
Sure. A number of years ago, I read the book China RX, and I was shocked to learn how much of our prescription drug supply runs back to China. I mean, they could shut us off at a moment's notice and you wouldn't have high blood pressure drugs. You wouldn't have the drugs you need to treat acute conditions in the American population. How important do you think it is for the Trump administration to take a strong look at where our effective pharmaceuticals come from?
Such a good analysis, Steve. I completely agree. It's a national security issue. The HHS, Department of Commerce, ought to really set out to secure our national security by bringing back original drug manufacturing to the United States. You know, over 90% of the drugs I prescribe in practice are generic. So it's not a war about big pharma. It's about China undercutting markets and group purchasing organizations assisting China in essentially, seizing control of the entire supply. We could bring back American drug manufacturing on our soil or our protectorates, and I think we'd be a lot safer. There's a great concern at some point in time, there's going to be tensions with China, Steve, and they're going to squeeze us on the drug supply.
No question about it. Now, anybody who's been watching the program for the last few weeks know that I used this kit, the medical emergency kit, after I burned my hand something fierce about 6 weeks ago. It had everything I needed. We called my doctor. I've peeled the skin right off the back of my hand. I burned it so bad. But we called my doctor. He said, you need Silvadene, you need this and that. You know where I found it? I said, Ivy. Grabbed the medical emergency kit from the wellness company. It was right there on the shelf. My hand has healed tremendously. Why? We were able to treat it within a few minutes of this pretty severe burn. So it's kits like this, the medical emergency kit, the contagion kit, the first aid kit, and the travel kit. You've all studied and designed the best kits available, doctor. You can find those things at the wellness company. twc.health/Gruber. You can do that now. Learn so much more about what's happening at the wellness company. Supplements like a spike protein supplement and so much more. I'll give you 15 seconds for the last word, Dr. McCullough.
These kits are so diverse. Families are finding they need several of them in the house for their, to meet their needs. And you know what? They avoid the ER and urgent care.
And that is priceless. Dr. Peter McCullough, thank you very much.
Thank you.